Hi guys, I am Brandi. I'm known as Bankroll B, and I am the CEO and the founder and the curator of Grimaldi Official. I'm the one that's been painting the city green every day. Y'all been seeing the green dogs. Y'all been seeing the dogs all around. When y'all see them, just bark because yeah, that's how we doing this.
Tell everybody where you from.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I am from the 8th Ward. That's a portion of New Orleans, downtown. Yeah, the 8th Ward. North Russian Blade and Painters. That's my hood.
Hey, so that
and I got a touch of Melf in me. My whole paternal family is from the Melf, so let me just add a touch of Melf with the 8th Ward and a touch of
Hey,
Melf.
but you know that had to be funny, like. Yeah, but that actually, explains why you was in the music video.
Oh yeah, I was in that music video because I'm from the 8th Ward, T Black, yeah, all that. That was what 12 years ago, and I found what happened was I was online on YouTube or something, no TikTok, and they had it on there, and I'm like, oh look at us, look at me. When I used to have a little two-tone hair and stuff, and I played it, and my daughter's never seen it, so they're like, Mama, that was you. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
You still look the same.
Thank you. I'm just a little more curve, yeah, that's all. Just a little more curves, that's all.
Okay.
Bye, girl.
All right, thank you, Pete.
I'm sorry.
So, when did you realize you were actually going to become an entrepreneur?
All right, so it's interesting you asked me that because I just became tomorrow, the 10th. Friday, I will be a 100% full-time entrepreneur. People, I don't know if you guys know, but I have a master's degree in computer information systems. So I was an IT security engineer for the longest, over 10 years of IT experience, and I was a professional hacker. So Friday coming up will be my last day at my job, and this will be I'm going into full-time entrepreneurship now.
Okay. So, since you just said all that, I got to ask that,
all right.
How do you actually become one professional hacker?
You get trained for it. You go to school for it. So
everybody don't get trained for it. So I was like,
yeah. So you get trained with algorithms and things like that. And when you learn these algorithms and stuff, they train you on, because in order to catch a hacker, you have to be one. So so they train you on all of that, and when you go on the job, they'll train you for what they need you to do for them, for their particular company or whatnot. So so I don't hack for everybody. I don't do Instagram and all that. I just do what my security clearance allows me to do.
All right,
but
so
I don't do that no more.
Clearance.
Yeah, you have to do it with the government to be able to do certain things. Yes.
Well, everybody.
So it's beauty and brains over here, and creativity. Yes.
You gotta tell your story.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So so I have 2 degrees actually. I have an undergrad degree in communication because my dream job was to be a news broadcaster. And when I was doing internships and stuff like that, that's how I started the radio and all of that in a magazine. When I used to do all of that, I realized there's not a lot of money in that field. So it's more like notoriety. I'm saying that right? Over monetary. So I was like, nah. So I just stuck with my IT skills, and that's where the money was at, and I used my money from my IT work to invest and be seed money for this, and voila.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, being one, I'm radio personnel, starting a magazine, let's bring it back. Actually, tell us, what year was it? And how did you actually come up? How did you actually come up? With your name to actually create the magazine.
The name for the magazine?
Yeah.
You remember the name for the magazine?
You gotta tell people.
Because I had 2.
Okay.
So the first name for the magazine, I had my own New Orleans culture magazine. It was called Barberin. Barberin was my great grandfather's last name. He was a jazz musician, Louis Barberin. He was well known in the city, in the South actually. So if you Google him, do the research, I come from that musical family. Let me just say it. So I named it after him, and I used to go to the second lines and everything, and go to all the events in the city and capture all the moments and stuff and write about it. But a lot of people wasn't into culture and history, so my target audience was more like older people, but it wasn't getting me a lot of what I wanted, a lot of traction. So I eventually started my fashion brand, which was called the Fashion Slut brand. And when I started that brand, I took the magazine and I reinvented it to Slut Magazine, which stood for Savvy League of Urban Trends. So it's like a lookbook. And I still have that actually, so I might just revamp that again. I might change it to Grimaldi now, since that's what we branded now. But I'm like Diddy, like I change my name like all the time and reinvent myself. But that's how the magazine came about. That was back in 2016 when I started that magazine. A lot of people think I just have overnight success with Grimaldi. They don't know I've been putting in work since 2016 with everything. You know, it may have not been Grimaldi itself, but it was everything I've been doing that led up to this. Yeah, so the magazine was 2016. Radio station, when I was a radio host, that was in 2017, 2018. That was like in that era. That was dope. That's where I gained my audience from. Because we used to go live before going live was a thing on Facebook. And the people used to see me, and the people would be like, why you don't do fashion? Because I used to always be fashionably late. So they used to always be like in what I had on and compliment my fashions. And I'm like, well, I've been into fashion. I just never thought of it. So I transitioned from cultural to fashion. And that's how the fashion started. And I wanted something that was going to pop out. So I called it Fashion Slut. And that's how I started that brand. And that brand did really good. Then I did Slutty Boy for the men. And that did really well. But with this brand, I wanted something that was going to go global. Because people were scared of the word slut, and I just had to reinvent. So whenever you're ready to talk about that, we could go on there.
Come on.
All right, so basically Grimaldi, this is how Grimaldi started. I created my luxury handbags. It's luxury handbags. I took a trip to Cali 2 years ago during the pandemic, and I splurged on some bags. I went to Louis Vuitton, I bought a Chanel, I bought Gucci. I just had them all. So when I got back home, I'm looking at all these bags, and I'm like, I could make this myself. And that's why I went with it. I started doing a lot of research and homework on each bag and each brand and where they started. And you'd be surprised that most of those bags we be paying all that money for just is made in Pakistan. They are not made in Italy. Made in Italy is a trademark that you can purchase. So that's why I make sure all my stuff is branded, made in New Orleans, because I want to keep it real and I want to be authentic where my stuff comes from. But nevertheless, some of my manufacturers are in Italy though, so I'm not even going to front. But nevertheless, so I created my own handbag, and that's the bags over there in the vault. I created them myself. And once I created the handbags, I went ahead and started adding apparel to the line bit by bit. And I wanted my brand to be unisex for both men and women. And I named it after myself. My biological name is Brandi Grimaldi. So I just took my last name and called my brand my last name, Grimaldi. It's a rich last name, so why not? And that's how I came about with this. And I got the gallery because I needed storage. This wasn't supposed to be this, but if you want to make God laugh, you got to tell them your plans. I was looking for storage space because my house was just full of boxes, and I needed somewhere to store all this stuff, all this inventory. And I contacted somebody who was about to sell me a house. I was gonna buy my second property, but I didn't do it. But he had business, suites and stuff, and this was one of them. And when I came here, it didn't look nothing like this. And he was like, you got to go in there with an open mind. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to just use it for storage anyway. But when I saw that the water back there, and I was like, oh, hey, this is a vibe. I could do something with this. And that's when I was like, well, I'm going to just have a little storefront. And I call it the gallery because when you come in here, it's like a selfie museum type kind of. That's how I created it. And I just started painting everything green. And how did I come up with the color green? I don't know. Because when I first started Grimaldi, I didn't really have a brand color when I started with the purses. And then that's when I just started, I created the mascot, which is Italian Mastiff dog. I call it Saint Barone. It's an Italian Mastiff dog with 2 Mardi Gras beads around the neck. And I don't know how I came with the color green, but I came up with it. And I know green gives me like prosperity and growth. So I went ahead and just went massive with the color. And I'm the type of person, when I do something, I go hard. So since I started green, it's gonna be green. This is gonna be the first luxury brand that has the same color scheme. When people be asking me, oh, you gonna do some red shirts? No, I'm not. Don't ask me about another color because the color is green. Everything is gonna be green. If anything, I'll throw a neutral color like gray or cream or something like that, but you're not gonna get nothing beyond that. It's gonna be green. So this will be the first luxury brand with the same color scheme. The only thing that has different colors is the handbags, because handbags are more universal for people to wear. But other than that, all the clothing, all the brands, everything is green.
Okay. Hey, so let's bring it back. You said, if you named your brand after your last name.
Yes.
And I just saw someone actually speak on it. It was like, actually when you purchase from Walmart, Louis Vuitton,
yes,
and all those brands, that's actually one family last name.
Yes,
like most people don't know that. And also, you know, actually, I'm like, before we actually, started doing the interview, you was telling me about your brand on your shirt. You was like, you know, I did my research of polo, and like, you know, the horse is like this.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Ralph Lauren. So I study him. I've been watching. I always watch documentaries. Everybody know that about me. I love fashion documentaries. I love Ralph Lauren. I always watch his documentaries in rotation. His brand is an American brand, and it's peaceful. It's clean. It's timeless. And that's the route I'm going. So that's why you're not going. A lot of people be asking me about certain things. You gonna make this? You gonna make that? I'm like, no. I'm sticking to like the basic things, like the joggers and the bodysuits and the shorts and the clean cut shirts. And this is my signature tees with this dog because it's timeless. It'll never go out of style. And that's what my brand represents, timeless pieces or whatnot. And next year, I'm going to rerun the same look. It's going to always be, because when Ralph Lauren dropped, he dropped that same sweatshirt every winter with that bell on the front. He ain't changing the color. It's going to always be navy blue with that bell on the front with the American flag stripes. Am I lying? So it's timeless. It can always, so that's the same thing I'm doing here. I'm creating a timeless brand. And yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a timeless brand.
Okay. So, you know, having one like Storefront now and things like that, what do you think is your greatest accomplishment actually having a store right now?
Having a store brought me so much revenue, believe it or not. I know a lot of people were saying when I was getting a store, people going away from stores, everything is online now. And I'm like, well, I'm going to just take my chances and I'm going to see. This store money hits different because people want to come and touch and feel. And when they feel the cotton, this is a Pima cotton. This is not no regular cotton. So when they feel the quality and they see the quality and they see, when they come in here and they get these good vibes and this good energy that I'm bringing and I'm giving, and they in here and it's a whole vibe, the whole thing, they keep coming back. I have returning customers. Like, that's amazing. But having a storefront, I love it because I love people. I have affirmations I say every day, and one of them is I love everybody and everybody loves me. So when I'm here, I'm excited to come here because you don't know who's going to walk in. It'd be unexpected people that come in and see you. It'd be people you familiar with. It'd be strangers that say, I've been knowing you. I've been following you since Fashion Slut, or I've been following you since you was the magazine girl. It'd be things like that. It'd be strangers that you never seen before that just saw your stuff, saw your billboard, or saw something that made them come this way, or heard of it, word of mouth, or they was at a second line and seen everybody with the green, so they want to be a part of it. So it's things like that, and I love people, once again. So I love interacting with people. So it brings me joy. It brings me pure joy to have this storefront and interact with people. Okay.
So has there ever been any hardships? You know, any battles while you was opening this store, or like negativity, things like that? No, not yet. I don't attract that. Okay. First of all, my frequency is way up here. God not even gonna allow me to even come close to something like that because I'm not even open and receptive to that. So if there is a hater or whatever that's called, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't need to know. They're there. You know what I'm saying? Right. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I don't even have those problems. They can't even come close to me. No ex-friends, no ex-husbands, no ex-nothing. None of that can't even touch me. Anything in the past stays there. I move forward. You know what I mean? So I attract nothing but good frequency, good vibes. And I'm not capping. That's just the truth. I didn't run into any bumps in the roads yet. Okay. So the only challenge I have now is being 100% full-time entrepreneur. And I don't even know if that's a challenge. And if it is, I like a challenge. So that's the only thing. The only difference now is this is 100% full-time starting Friday. So yeah, it's up from here. It can only go up. Okay, so I'm speaking in, moving in positive directions. Okay. You opened your store in New Orleans, you know, and New Orleans is the most crime area right now in New Orleans. And you're bringing positivity. So do you feel like it was important to actually open one store in the East? So when I was choosing a storefront, I was thinking about that. I considered all of that because I was like, well, New Orleans East do have a reputation of crime or whatnot. But people got to understand in certain parts, it's from the beginning to Crowder. It's really beyond Crowder is very rare. You don't really hear a lot of crime or Bullet or Reed or anything like that. But it can happen anywhere. But I chose the East because this is where I reside, and this is where it was convenience for me. And I was like, you know what?
we can bring. I chose this area because I know this area is a decent area and it's secluded. So in order for it to come back here, you have to be coming to me. You know what I mean? It's not a mistake. You're not gonna just pass and be like, oh, that's grandmother. You gonna have to come to me. So we needed this. We needed some type of positivity in the East. And people, I don't have no problem bringing traffic this way. Because I remember when I first got it, I remember someone mentioning, well, nobody don't come back there. There's no traffic. Look at the parking lot. It keeps traffic. Like, you know what I'm saying? I bring the traffic. I didn't need to go nowhere where everybody was at. I wanted that. I wanted to create my own lane. And when people come back here, they feel safe coming back here by me. They feel safe in this area. So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, tell the world, what's the average day like for you?
Oh my God, you caught us on a slow day. That's why I told you could come right now. What's today? It's Wednesday. An average day it's spontaneous. That's another thing. We don't follow a certain schedule. I try to do that, but the way my mind and my brain works, I just move high to the rhythm of my own drum. So I can call them out, and right now we could have a shoot today. I can we could be popping bottles and celebrating. We can have customers flood us and just start shopping. We keep online orders, we processing. It's always something to do at the gallery. We always have visitors. It's always a visitor at the gallery coming through and seeing us and talking with us and interacting with us and collabing with us. It's a lot. So a typical day I come, the first thing I do is I have to go to the bank because I have to make deposits every day, which is a blessing. And I also I'm shipping out orders to the people who bought online. I'm always shipping and processing orders or whatnot. We come in here, the gallery is always clean and neat, so I don't really have a problem with that. And I put my music on, get the vibe right, and we just go to work. If we in the back, we pressing shirts because some people want certain shirts made. We pressing them because we press them ourselves in the back. For now, I'm always ordering and restocking because we always selling out. We always doing inventory. And my staff and I, we have good vibes. So it's always something. We have a challenge going on right now amongst us three. So it keeps it spicy and it keeps it going or whatnot. We selling these handbags. So the white handbag is mine. Joelle's got the pink and Chrissy got the yellow. So we're trying to see who gonna win in selling the most handbags of each color. But at the end of the day, we all winning. You know, because the more revenue we get, the more I can pay them. And it's all a win-win for all of us. But it's a fun challenge. So we do things like that. We have team meetings. We have a conference room back there where we have our meetings. And I'm starting coaching as well. A lot of people have been asking me about coaching them on getting their brand together and curating their brand. So I'm doing one-on-one coaching sessions starting this week. So I'll tell more about that on social media. And I like to create, I like to give back. I love giving back. Like a girl came in here earlier, you just missed it. She saw my billboard, made a video. I thought it was so dope. So I told her when she come, I'll treat her to something. I gave her a shirt that was worth $100 for free. And she was like, oh my God, yeah, this is for you. Because you bringing recognition to me. You didn't have to do that. So I love giving back. So it's spontaneous. You never know what a day in the gallery will be like. Yesterday I had a guy came and showed me how to waltz, dance. We danced on live. It was fun. So all type of people, it brings in all type of people, all type of good energy and good vibes.
Gotcha. So tell us this.
What
do you enjoy most about being one fashion designer? And tell us what do you actually hate most about being a fashion designer?
I enjoy that I can be creative. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Can I curse? Oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want to.
It is your story.
It's my story. I love being creative and having creative control. When I was coming up, I never had a lot of money. Like my mama had 5 kids, so we didn't have. I used to wear my second hands and hand me downs and things like that. But my daddy was like the shyest dude from uptown. He from the milk, caddy daddy. Everybody knew him, and he always was clean and stuff. So I used to always be like, I like how I'm gonna be like that. So I used to always try and get dressed and make sure I'm neat and clean and stuff like my daddy. I just wanted to step out like him. Because when he walk in the room, he own the room. And that's what I have all his personality. I have every bit of my daddy in me. So, and when creating this brand, I can do what I want to do. Nobody can tell me, oh, I don't like this. Well, I like it. Oh, I think you should do this. Oh, like I was telling you earlier, don't tell me what I should do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And that's the way I do it. That's my creativity about it. You could do that on your own, but it works for me. So I get to have creative control. That's the best part about being a fashion designer. Damn, that sounds good. I'm a fashion designer. But yeah, so that's the best part about it. The worst part about it, honestly, that's no worst part right now. I didn't run into that yet. Because when you're creative, there's no limit to creativity. So there's no worst part about it. I mean, the only thing you have is a competitive advantage towards competing with another person, and you really don't be competing. It's like, I see you, you see me, we see each other. All right, we both winning in a city or whatever. So it's really not nothing worse about it. I just step outside the box. I try to do whatever I can do, and if you can put the money behind whatever you can do, because it takes money to make money, you can do whatever. And that's the advantage I did have of having the income and the money to put behind a brand, because I'm the one come out with stockings. Only big brands like Gucci and Fendi and them had stockings. So I was like, I want to create that. And when I came out hard with that. And now I'm seeing other brands and local brands doing it, and I'm glad that they were able to do that. So now we all winning. You know what I mean? I'm glad I was able to start something, and like even with the handbags or whatnot. So it's just the creativity. There's no limit to creativity. So I love it.
Okay. So, what's your advice to one on a younger person that's trying to follow in your footsteps?
I feel like I'm a good person to follow because I have a good thing going or whatnot. And my advice is just be creative. A lot of people always say they want to be different, or I want to be different. No, I don't need to be different. I could be trendy, I could follow the trend, I could do everything, but just be creative with it. Whatever you got, put your own spin on it. There's no rules. Create your own lane, create your own rules. There's no rules. Just be creative. That's what I would tell somebody. Be creative. Do what you want to do.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So tell us, what's next for you?
What's next is, let me just tell y'all what's next for the brand. Of course, if y'all not subscribed to Vogue magazine, it's only $12 a year to subscribe and get your magazines in the mail. Y'all Vogue magazines, because Grimaldi Official will be featured in August, September, and October issue of Vogue. And of course, y'all know September is Fashion Week, so that's the biggest issue. So I think y'all should subscribe for the support of somebody from y'all hometown, from NOLA doing this. It's gonna be something big. So the whole Louisiana should be like standing up for this. Like, that's huge. That was my ultimate goal. My overall goal with this brand was to be featured in Vogue magazine, and now I finally have it. What else is next is I'm gonna keep creating. I have new products about to drop for the fellas. I got some polo collar shirts that's coming out that y'all gonna like. It's all green with the dolls all over it, so y'all could be corporate with y'all Grimaldi. Y'all could dress down there. Y'all go play golf with y'all Grimaldi. I got some new t-shirt designs coming out for the fellas. For the ladies, I have the mesh. I know y'all like to be see-through and wear y'all the new clothes and be see-through and stuff. So I created a way to be sexy and classy at the same time. So I got this all-into-one mesh bodysuit. And I got another mesh piece I never talked about, which is a skirt set. Y'all can wear that with y'all boots. For the winter, y'all can wear it all year round. I have a lot of new stuff about to drop. Soon I probably will be traveling. I probably be in Italy, rubbing elbows with my manufacturers. That's in the plans. I guess going to New York and stuff like that. It's gonna be big. It's growing. The brand is growing so fast. It's only been 3 months and we took over the city. Like, we painted it green. We still paint it green. We're gonna always paint it green. So it's whatever God have in store for me. I just asked him to give me enough grace for my place, and that's it. That's what's next. Whatever's next, I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to collaborating with other brands and things like that. I would love to collaborate with some major brands like Gucci, because I love everybody always wear their Grimaldi with their Gucci. I do it myself, and it looks good. So Gucci, yeah, I could see that. In the future, I could see Fendi. I can see me collaborate with all these big brands. I can see when you search designer or luxury brands, and when all those come up, I can see Grimaldi up in that top 10.
Okay.
Yep. Collaborate with Nike. Nike is the #1 brand in the world, not just America, the world, and they're an American brand. So that makes me so proud. So I can see the collaborations. I can see celebrities and everybody wearing Grimaldi. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And last but not least, tell everybody, what can they find on social media and just everywhere?
Well, of course, I'm on social media. I use Instagram as my platform, but my Instagram is Grimaldi Official. The website is Grimaldi Official. Facebook, Grimaldi Official, or Grimaldi the Gallery, one of them. If you search Grimaldi the Gallery on Google, you'll find us. But most importantly, out of all that, I have my own app. I have my own app I created for the brand, Grimaldi official app. You could download it from Google Play Store if you have an Android. You could download it from your iPhone on the app store if you have an iPhone. And matter of fact, you should pick your phone out and you should download my app right now while you're sitting there. Grimaldi official app. It's a free app. Download it. You're gonna get all the latest news. It's a I created that to have a platform for my members who join the app, and my people, they can talk amongst each other. They can upload their pictures when they wear their Grimaldi to the app. They can I will give announcements on new things. They're gonna be the first ones to know the new arrivals on everything and new things that's about to drop or what's coming for Grimaldi. Looking forward to Grimaldi. So yeah, so download my app. So I'm gonna stop promoting all the other social media platforms and promote my app. Because if all that stuff shut down,
you still have your app.
We got an app. So download our app, Grimaldi official. Period.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
exactly. You download the app. See what I'm talking about?